On today's episode of Let's Talk FGO, we're going to talk to you about Traum Banner 2 and also Traum Banner 3? Already? It's happening fast? Will there be a Banner 4? Get your bets in now. Also, we do have some lovely news that's not news, but kind of news about Anniversary 5 in NA. It's very surprising. Tune in for later. Now, I am one of your hosts, Protractor Omega. With me, as always, Graphing Calculator Lucky.
Everyone, I hope you're enjoying Fate Grand Order, aka knowing a lot about adventures. And while we here at Studio Mega like to bring you the latest in FGO-related news and memes, we will be talking about current and future events with the JP and E version of the game. So anyone not wanting spoilers should just whip out their new ruler.
Yeah, so if somehow you haven't figured out what's going on from this banner that happened, and it's also not like our entire thumbnail, this banner.
Heck.
You know, yes, we will be talking about people on a second story banner release, which usually has some level of spoilers. Not that much, because a lot of people called one of these characters from his silhouette, because apparently Raida draws a very distinct hair. Fucking internet scientists, am I right? But yeah, so if you like your complete blindness, you'll want to avoid that. Watch our show later. But please watch the show. Also go back and watch last week. It was fine. The episode was fine. We talked about things. We're very happy about Charlemagne. But before we get too much further into the show, I would like to remind you this episode is brought to you by our patrons like Adam DeHarp, Icon Comics, Architect 10 Bucks, Doji, Carlos, Dragon, Ferris, Jerry Vasquez, Just of the Fae, Jonathan Sandoval, Legendary Monster, Liam Kessler, Reach Raptor, Rise of Kenji, Rogue Robyn, Shavor, Sean Pryor, Some Gunner, Bomb, 723, and Bear the Crow. If you like what we do, want us to do more, consider supporting us on Patreon. You can get access to episodes early and lots of other goodies. It really helps us out. Thank you for your support, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
It reminds me, I had late last week, I think I had an idea for like a goal for like either more number of patrons or a certain dollar amount, and I've completely fucking forgot it.
This is why we have to write everything down. Everything.
Yeah, I should need to write more stuff down. Luckily, I've been keeping up my notes for What's Up. Also, go watch that tomorrow and or today, depending on when you're listening to this, or in the past.
I might need to write some fucking notes myself. Shit.
Well, we had some Summer Game Fest, and also Netflix had a thing at Summer Game Fest.
Wait, did Summer Game Fest actually already happen, or?
One of the streams did. Like, I think Keely's keynote speech.
Oh. Shit,
but there are also several, like the Bethesda and Xbox thing's not until like Saturday evening, I think.
I've been literally so fucking out of it because of my job, I totally fucking forgot. Holy shit.
Well, I'm sure somebody in games can or I can dig up the stream and you can cross-reference what happened.
I'm pretty sure, like, if they did a stream today, I'm pretty sure the news outlets are
there was a stream yesterday and another one today.
Holy shit.
Yes, that's what. If you didn't see my tweet about it, I tweeted about it. Jeff Keighley said, a lot of space today. And I was like, I have to quote this. Because there was a lot of space in horror games, a lot of which looked excellent. You'll tune in more for that about on What's Up, everybody. I'm jazzed because there was a separate thing where they announced an actual, in addition to the free update, they're doing a paid DLC for Aliens Fireteam Elite. There's going to be new bad guys and new weapons and stuff. New campaign. Monkey D. Luffy, that's right. There was a One Piece game announcement that was funny. Anyway, that's future shit. We'll talk about that at a different time. Right now, we're concerned with FGO Oopdoots. And I'm not even going to do my sound cue for this. We don't really have a pro tip this week. Nothing crazy is really going on in JP per se. Like, it's just, are you slow rolling Traum or not? And in NA, we're the dovetail of the back end of a rerun. And then we're getting into the next thing. There will be more news. I do believe they said there will be a late June event in JP. Yeah, it's in our newsletter, so we'll talk about that. There will be a late June story event that required something clear that I don't remember. But right now we're in a little bit of a slow roll. We got a little bit of a hump, and we're gonna pop back in with some new content. We should be getting I think it's CCC permanent first, CCC main interlude, and probably I think we timed this out. Let me actually look at the calendar. Because my only pro tip notes is that we basically have a confirmation on our 5th anniversary stuff will be Sunday, July 3rd. Because there was a panel that we will discuss in a short while. So let's see. We got 2 or 3 days. I think it ends the 13th. That's 2 weeks? 2 weeks and some change? Yeah, I could see an OQ rerun. It's that or they're going to have to do some other shit. Do we have a hunting quest they can throw in there? Something. We'll figure it out. Yeah, somebody said yes, we do have a hunting quests. Also, yeah, if you're in general, we should probably, because they talked about expanding it, they're probably going to give us the boosted dailies at the anniversary. So if you really want to go ham on EXP for level 120 or something, hold up a little bit, save yourself some trouble. Yeah, we'll have LB3. I know a lot of people are excited for that because they want more buffs and stuff. And rate-ups, Get a Python and a Mothman rate-up. But yeah, so we'll have more info for you on the anniversary later. No recorded records or evils. We're just doing our thing. Oh my god. Did you have that GIF queued up on your own, or did you steal that from Loth? We have a lot of Mothman fanatics in our Discord. Okay. That's probably why I see it so much if it's top on the search list. Gonna have to write a fucking West Virginia Mothman Delta Green adventure just to satisfy all these people.
I'm already going insane enough on that shit.
It'll be a vampire Mothman! Woo!
As long as I get to shoot it with silver bullets.
Proboscis Moses. Alright, so we don't have any of that stuff. But we do have, did you finish your master missions? We will move swiftly into that. You need to defeat 5 dragon trait enemies, 5 divine trait enemies, defeat 5 female servants, is what it says. Complete a quest with a swimsuit servant in your party 5 times, and then 10 times. Note, I didn't write this in my notes because it makes it really long, but the master mission specifies this doesn't include costume dress, so it needs to be your actual summer servants, not just guys with costumes or mash with costume. And then acquired 3 gem or statue drops, so basically do the event, you'll hit all of these. There's plenty of dragons and divines and other shenanigans running around. Definitely plenty of females, and you have a reason to put swimsuit servants in there.
Easy peasy.
So the text of the news for our Skelegrams segment is a little lean, but I think we've got bigger talking points than that. So first up, as completely expected, JP did indeed have a second Traum banner, started the 8th, running until the 15th. The banner for this is Ruler, James Moriarty Limited, who I am calling Young Moriarty, Young Guns. That is limited. We have Story Locked Don Quixote, SR, Lancer.
Of course.
And new permanent 3-star, I think this is Zhang Jue, but it might be like Jue? I don't know. Also alternatively, Yang Jiao. We'll talk more about him later. The comments will fucking roast me, and I will be like, listen, I was not the man who decided what English letters, what Latin letters they use for these Chinese sounds, okay? It's their fault. Anyway, he is our first new rare in approximately 1 million years, actually since Atlantis. And he's going to be permanent after this. Yay. Thumbs up.
I don't know where the Imperial Pedant is.
Well, according to his sidebar, I'll dob out Dallas. He's playing Legends of Runeterra right now. I'll yell about him later. Trust me, I'm gonna have that motherfucker in the cage match for a long time on Tuesday. We did hit 3,100 subs, so we're gonna do the funny thing after subs freaked out a little bit earlier this week. But yeah, I'll have plenty of time for him to explain to me how the fuck to pronounce that in your name. But also, and I mean, like I said, this wasn't really a shocker to anybody who actually was playing Traum or also saw the art display. Again, like I said, people literally saw Young Moriarty's haircut and were like, that's Moriarty. That's a Rita haircut. That's him. That's him right there, officer. So, yeah, we won't discuss for what plot reasons he appears, if any. But, yeah, that was pretty called, and I do believe that Don Quixote, and technically Sancho, and also technically lots of other people, it's weird, we'll talk about it later, but that was pretty well called. But also, this does mean that there are characters still left, so I don't know if this means, like, Banner 4? Because
I don't think so.
They have done that nonsense before, but it's been a lot of years.
Nah.
I don't think so. It doesn't sound like Los Angeles' way of doing things usually, especially since they put non-new servants on Banner 3, which is what we're about to talk about. Spoilers. I would say watch out for Anniversary or future shit like a Guda Guda, because there's still 2 or 3 characters who appear in the story who aren't actually summonable out of these banners yet.
I mean, I think I know at least one of them matches the silhouette.
Yeah. So there's still some. Yeah, I think it actually might be 3 because I think we might have seen some other images of some people who are not in detail, but some sprites may have appeared. But
yeah, I only know of one other personally, but I'm excited for that one.
Yeah, there's quite a few concepts out there. We'll see how they shake it out. There's a few, and there might even be more than I missed because if they're like minor characters, you know. But yeah, so probably not the end of characters from Traum appearing. It's just that obviously this is the possibly the extent of the actual banner, because Traum Banner 3 was also announced. That started just today, basically 6/10. Going until the 17th. It is a raid-up on Sherlock and Siegfried. I do believe it has been a little bit since a Sherlock raid-up. And Siegfried, of course, because, he's a plot important character with Kriemhild being introduced. We also got rank ups out of this. A lot of people were a little shocked when Traum dropped that there were no new rank ups. I guess they were saving it for a little bit. And they seem pretty decent. You may sense a theme of future characters here. Sherlock's second skill is now a 30 to 50% battery. It's pretty effective. Yeah, we got a lot of people. There's a few more lingering. But, whatchamacallit? Yeah, so Sherlock has a very large battery, which is probably helpful to him since he technically has a non-damaging NP, but it's also very important. And Siegfried got his golden rule buffed. So now it is also a 20 to 30% battery, and also gives him an attack up for 3 turns. Same amount, 20 to 30%. So yeah, that's pretty good. I know he's always had a little bit of problems being a little sluggish on his NP, so having a 30% battery direct, and he still gets his golden rule, 37% NP gain up. And he gets a little attack, I believe that Siegfried was also famous for, at certain points, having less attack than some 3-star sabers, because he is very heavily weighted in the HP department. He is tanky as fuck. So this will help alleviate that and keep him pretty rounded. It's nice. I do think this probably means we won't see any more rank ups out of Traum, but Anniversary in JP is only a month and a half away, so they'll do a big round of rank ups there.
Get excited.
We also got Sherlock's Trial Quest unlocked permanently in the RP shop, now free, and Siegfried's costume, his summer costume, is in the RP shop. Freeze. Sorry, it's just looking at Young Moriarty is just, I know people make this joke constantly, but it's such we live in a society vibes. I'm sorry. This guy is so fucking extra. Thank you, Raita.
As it should be.
But, yeah, Siegfried's costume is now in the RP shop, and it's free if you've completed Orleans, of all things. So, it's basically free. And if you've spent rare prisms on them previously, you get them back. Yay.
Yay.
So yeah, as we said earlier, this is probably the end of the Traum releaseification. No big game updates further. We got a couple rank ups, we've got some banners. There is going to be a actual, event, allegedly later in June. And we've got, further Road to 7 stuff coming up. But all in all, seems interesting. If you're curious about those new servants, as usual, we'll discuss those later, after the Breaky Boo. The Breaky Boo. The only real new news out of NA is FGO XAX. I did not choose this branding. They wrote it that way. Thanks, guys. But FGO is back at AX this year. They've been clarifying that for a couple of days now. They'll be in the exhibit hall. There'll be a Saber Alter bike there again you can take a picture with. They'll have some other stuff going on. But we have confirmed there will be a panel on the 3rd of July, that's Sunday, we talked about earlier, to talk about 5th anniversary info, and our guest list is currently Albert Cow, localization producer, and once again, by the way, I didn't pick the all caps, they wrote it this way, Kano Yoshiki. Nii-san's finally coming to America.
Be excited about this.
Yeah, he's been practicing his ego for this very purpose, and they've officially announced it. He will be here to talk about the anniversary. I believe they're the only 2 guests cleared, but that'll be nice. No word yet if it's going to be streamed. I assume it will be because I think all of our anniversary panels have been streamed, but they have not officially stated that yet. Also, yeah, somebody brought this up in comments. If you are planning on going to AX, I believe they have reinstated their Vax card or recent negative COVID test requirement. Originally, they rolled it back to just masks, but apparently they've reinstated their higher levels of security. I'm going to assume that's probably at the insistence of some of the guests from Japan, because the Japanese individuals seem to take some of this stuff a little more seriously. I don't know, they might have been okay with masks. It's very weird. Japan was not as keen on the lockdown culture as other countries were. They were a little slower behind it. But at the same time, masks are way more socially acceptable, over there and in China and stuff, than they are here. It's interesting how culture goes. But yeah, we are going to get our big anniversary bomb on the 3rd, as usual, really. I don't think anything's unexpected about that date and time. It's just, they are actually bringing over Yoshiki for this. Part 2 director.
Very excited.
So that'll be fun. And so that will probably be the start date for, Lucky Bags, first run of rank up quests, Castoria banner, all that fun stuff. Along with whatever however many great campaigns we get, whatever goodies Kano brings us in his bag. Shitload of Saint Courts. What's the special master mission?
I don't know.
And somebody remind me, also to answer the chat question, we do not yet know if it's going to be streamed. They did not say for sure either way. I assume it will be streamed, but we still live in chaotic times. Yeah, I'm sure, I believe we have streamed every anniversary before, but still, it's good. And you'll get a shitload of Saint Courts and all this other fun stuff.
Oof.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think we got any other news. It's a light news week. I mean, I say, there's new banners. That's always rad, but we will be talking about that more in the back half.
Yes.
Other than that, there's not a lot of solid news to unpack. There'll, be a great many things to unpack in future shows in July.
Yeah, I do think we're kind of in a weird bit of a lull right now with us still being in our summer. We don't even have we only have a couple days left in the event, and they haven't announced anything. They have to be announcing what's coming next, either probably tonight or tomorrow. I think they have.
Yeah, I believe it should. Well, let me double check. They could reorder things. They've done that a couple of times recently, but let's double check what should be next in the schedule. We'll call our shot so that we can be completely wrong at midnight tonight or whatever.
By the way, Lucky has been doing horrible at the event, but that's how it usually is with me in reruns.
Yeah, I definitely have not. The fact that you still have to grind the rerun to progress the story is really killing it for me, because I'm like, I'll put in a few hours to get my QP up, and it's like, no, that's not enough, and I'm like, but I want to go do other stuff. I gotta read or watch things now.
Yeah.
But okay, let's go back in time. We already got Interlude Campaign 13. I did that one. Yeah, let's see. What's the order of this? Okay, so technically, yes. The thing that coincided with the swimsuit AoE only banner was Hunting Quest 8, so we will probably get that first. That should be, by the way, Fangs, Gunpowders, crowns, silver crowns. That's nice. Bloodstones and Proofs, Spirit Roots and Feathers. Ooh, and that last one is Egg and Chain. That's going to be a popular day, Egg and Chain Day. Don't miss Egg and Chain Day down at the cafeteria. But yes, that in JP, that overlapped with the swimsuit campaign originally, so I assume we will probably get that first, unless they decide to swap it around and do Seraph first. But they might not, because obviously the way that worked is the Seraph main interlude immediately flowed into the OQ rerun, so they'll probably want to make sure to keep those stitched together as much as they can. But yeah, so still going to be light, hunting quests are cool. We appreciate them. Especially when they've got newer materials like those silver crowns and those eggs. Hell, people I'm sure will appreciate the egg thing right before Castoria drops.
Oh yeah.
But it's not going to be earth-shaking news. But yes, that does, I think, seem to wrap up the Skelegrams for today.
Yes, excellent. So, with that, let us move on to this week. So let's talk FGO mailbag. Yes, we actually got it out this week. Barely. Yeah, literally had to remind me.
Yeah. That's okay. That works as a reminder for myself. I tweeted it too. I did the social media.
Oh, shit. Again, Lucky working this different position at work has literally slain me. Most days, usually, I try to set up the mailbag while I'm at work because I have access to a computer, but I have not had access to a computer for the past 2 weeks. And being constantly on my feet just means every day I go home, just crash on my bed and pass out for 4 hours. And I was like, then I wake up, I'm like, ah! And I have to run off and do literally everything else.
Remember, you can make us not have to do other work if you support us on Patreon and join our channel YouTube membership. Also, by making us bigger, we can maybe get sponsors and stuff. Maybe those gamer subs people talk about. Maybe some VPNs. Everybody loves VPNs, right? Anyway, it's mailbag.
So, let's talk FGO mailbag. Reading, talking, all that good stuff. We got 13 today, and I see no reason to hold ourselves back, so here we go. And this first one here comes from the man eagerly waiting the latest sally of a certain ingenious Hidalgo and his trusty squire/steed/ladylove.
Don Quixote is weird, guys.
I mean, Don Quixote is just weird.
I know, but they managed to make anime Don Quixote somehow still inherently weird. I love it.
But they say, question. I've always been curious about Saber being called the best class in the original FSN. Is this early installment wonkiness, Fuyuki Holy Grail War exclusive mess, or the Saber class just having some lore-related advantage over the rest of the original 7 classes? Well wishes and good vibes to the both of you and all your listeners.
Mass wah wah wah.
As far as I understand it, it's kind of, I want to call it early installment wonkiness mostly, because when you think about it, the knight classes are basically direct combat specialists. If you look at it, while the cavalry classes are usually in more interesting roles and niches. For example, take the knight classes. We have saber, lancers, and archers. Very direct, very strong. Gonna just get up in there and boop your snoot. Even archers, even though they're just long range specialists. But then you look at cavalry classes. Then you have riders, assassins, and casters. And each of them, while are strong, are usually very strong in very specific situations. Well, like I said, rider classes usually have to have some sort of mount or something to show their full prowess. Assassins are infamously for being actually very weak, but through the powers of like presence concealment and whatnot, they can get their surprise attacks off very easily. Mm-hmm. And casters also known for being specifically weak until they can basically set up their own territory and augment their own abilities.
And usually being bad in direct combat because the knight classes inherently have loads of magic resistance, which doesn't come up in FGO.
Yes.
And then berserkers are just like, okay, you get to be OP, but no strategy. Melts your circuits only.
Yeah,
and I don't actually know if Sabers won most Grail Wars. We know for sure that in Grail War 3, a Saber lost because that was the Edelfelt twins was supposed to be Saber. Again, I feel like the lore strongly implies that it's Dioscuri.
And Yggdramilia won with Theon.
Yeah, still a knight class, but yeah, I think it's open-ended. I think in general, as like you said, like, Sabers are part of the knights who are usually supposed to be really impressive direct combatants. I assume part of it was just, regardless of what version of Fate Stay Night it was, like, Saber was supposed to be a main character. So it's like main character upsell, extra fame, King Arthur, all that fun stuff. And then the rest of it is just interpolating the story and the rules of the game, into a, like, the actual literal, because knights usually have inherent, magic resistance, like we said. A lot of them have writing inherently, or at least Sabers do, which means that they can compete with writers a lot. Obviously, we know Nasu likes swords, so naturally the sword-wielding class would be the strongest. That's where all the coolest mythological weapons are, right? Shoulder rib. So I think it was just supposed to be, like, they're the best all-rounded, like, Lancers are supposed to be the fastest, Archers have range, but Sabers are supposed to be the best jack of all trades. And initially, anyway, Sabers were supposed to have the highest minimum stat requirements. It was very, like, old-school D&D. Like, you could not qualify to be a Saber unless you had really high base stats, like in Fate Stay Night. So Sabers tend to be naturally better. You can kind of see this in FGO, at least, in that there were no low-rarity Sabers for a long fucking time, right? Like, I think for lore reasons, they felt like they couldn't have low-rarity Sabers because they wanted them to have higher, like, stat caps. Obviously, that rule didn't last very long. By her own admission in story, and also by just the way her profile is, Nero should not be a Saber normally. Her stats are too shit for it. But because she is Nero, she's like, no, your argument is invalid, QED. So, as we said, it's probably an early installment weirdness where they just moved away from it over time, where it stopped being like, no, because it's the protagonist class, Sabers are always going to be the coolest and strongest. And more, it's just like, we've had to make up, the 400 fucking characters for this mobile game, so just whatever. Your writing rules get a lot looser when you have to keep making up characters, everybody.
Makes sense to me. So, with that, let's just move on. And this next one comes from The Eternal Storm, giving to you both, wishing you both well. Question, what are your thoughts on Traum servants, specifically how some are not the initial class you expected them to do? Okay. I.e. Kriemhild and Don Quixote. Honestly, I am not surprised that Kriemhild's a Berserker. I honestly felt like it was a toss-up between Berserker and Avenger, and I really didn't care either way.
Yeah,
Don
and
Quixote,
somebody actually commented on this last week. They have a decent story reason why, because, you know, in Fate, it turns out Kriemhild's vengeance was pointless because Siegfried basically did himself in. He was like, okay, you can stab me to prevent people from being upset at me. It's fine. My wife definitely won't be angry. Spoilers, his wife was angry. And honestly, like, it's the same for Don Quixote. Like, obviously, you know, Sancho, very famous, you know, riding horse thing, and his squire and all that. But also, he jousted with a windmill, right?
I mean, he did, like, a lot of people, like, remember, but he did carry a lance and a sword.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And specifically a jousting lance, too, you know?
Yes.
Which a lot of lancers don't actually get lances. They get spears.
And I will remind you, his horse was actually a very crappy horse.
So this makes as much sense as anything else, right?
Right.
You know, he's doing his own thing.
If I remember correctly, it was like a Mare Pastor Prime or something.
Yeah, somebody also said in chat, in some versions, the donkey. He doesn't even have a horse.
Yeah. Well, like I said, it wasn't a proper horse. That's the thing. So, no, Lancer makes sense to me. But like, again, like, it's one of those things, like, I don't necessarily expect certain classes unless it's very super fucking obvious what they should be. Like, I am forgetting his fucking name already.
Which one?
The Minamoto. I can't remember his fucking name. I'm so bad with these names. Hang on. Don't maximize the window, you ass! God damn it, Windows!
Rip.
Oh, Tomo. Like, if he's not an archer, I'm gonna be fucking flabbergasted.
Yep, fair.
But other than that, like, if you just give me a character and I don't know anything about them, if I don't know anything about them, I'm just be like, no, sure, why not? Fine.
Like, honestly, you can say that about a lot. Like, our new 3-star caster, you know, Zhang Jue, like, yeah, he's a caster, and that kind of makes sense, especially with his NP we'll discuss later. But I could easily see him being an assassin or a writer, like, in the context, because he is a general. A lot of generals end up writers. And also he was part of, like, a rebel movement, the Yellow Turban Rebellion, which may or may not have involved some covert activity. And the definition of assassin has gotten much looser over the years. So it's one of those things where, like, when you hear about this character, you're like, oh, FGO could literally do anything with this person. You know, like, there's some characters where it's like you know, Miyamoto Musashi. If Miyamoto Musashi isn't a saber, what are you doing? I know the actual Musashi got firearms a fair amount, but, like, the myth is the sword.
The myth, the legend.
I mean,
well, that's the thing. Don Quixote,
he is kind of weird. I don't know if he's ever gone berserk, but he's certainly insane in the membrane.
He's insane in the membrane, but not because, you know, actual, like, it's just that he literally read too many fucking read too many books.
Yeah,
literally.
He is the literary origin point of the Chuninboyu. He is just way too involved in this fantasy, y'all. I wonder actually if that is the literary origin. Don Quixote is pretty old. Are there any stories of you know, like, I don't think in classical literature there's any, like, because if you talk about, like, epic poetry, that's all mythologized. There's no need for you to, like, read a bunch of books and think that shit's real. It is. Zeus will actually slap your shit. It's a very post-classical narrative. But yeah, no, like we discussed with the Saber question, classes in FGO are, by their very nature, much more open-ended than they used to be, because they need to fill a gacha roster with new characters, and being too strict stifles the amount of characters you can do. Like, imagine the game if they'd kept the original Fuyuki rule that you could only summon, which, again, keep in mind, this rule only existed for Fuyuki in the original Fate Stay Night and Fate Zero. They kept moving it, right?
Excuse me.
If they'd kept the assassin rule, they had to be one of the recognized Hashashin, right? That wouldn't have worked. We'd have run out of assassins a long time ago, because there was only, like 32 of them canonically or something. There's a limited number. Yeah, I think I think at least in, and technically they already stretched that in Apocrypha, because Amakusa is an apocryphal saint. You know, he's not recognized. they at least talked about the idea with not having a wish for the Grail, so they left some loosey-goosey room there. But yeah, classes are inherently more flexible than they are. Some of that is mechanical. We've talked about this, like how they're probably not going to make Gunner a class ever, even though allegedly that is an alternate archer, because in mechanical terms it's redundant. Yeah, I don't even know if, honestly thinking about it, I don't even know if Faker is supposed to be a class. Like, they just called her Faker because she was a fake summon in a fake war. But yeah, just being like, no, Pretender, that's a real class. We've got real rules for that. That, like, works for FGO, you know? And they came up with a mechanical niche for it. It's similar with Voyager not being a Voyager, but being a foreigner, because he's supposed to be, in the story, one of those classic, my nickname is my class name also, and that's a new class. Yay. Which is a thing they don't always do, actually, thinking about it. Like, they did it for Faker, obviously, but I do think Jean is sometimes referred to as ruler in Apocrypha, but also a lot of people do just call her Jean. It's interesting. Though I guess with a ruler, you don't need a secret identity, do you?
Probably not, no.
You're the game master. You know everybody's secret identities. You know everybody's secret roles.
I'm sorry, I'm just trying to imagine Jean d'Arc playing Among Us.
I mean, we kind of saw it with the fucking werewolf game. She was the ref in that and still got jobbed. Servant Among Us would be very funny. Ku always dies first. Gilgamesh just says, "He is the imposter," and everybody throws Ku out of the ship.
I should go buy me some Azure Lane skins before they're gone.
But yeah, I think we've talked that question to death.
Yes, we have. So let us move on. All right, that is the wrong tab, me. The next one comes from Tan Musashi Supremacy. Question: what exactly is the deal with Rongo Miniad? I can pronounce that now. I kind of picked up on what Excalibur is over the years, but I'm not sure what the deal is with this super powerful lances. P.S. Since MXXX has 2 of them, doesn't that make her the strongest servant ever? What's Gil gonna do against that? Job even harder than usual? Ooh, spicy.
Wow. Yeah, so, I mean, I will say, Rongo is one of those weird things where, like, in the actual mythology, Rongo Miniad's not that well attested. It is said that Arthur had that as a spear.
I'm pretty sure it wasn't... Oh.
I was just gonna say it was supposed to be holy.
Yeah, I was about to say, I believe it was one of the objects, like, directly given to Arthur by God or something.
Yeah, and in a lot of the especially earlier versions of the Arthurian cycle, Arthur has a lot of those lying around. That's where, Pridwin comes from, the shield that is also sometimes a boat, because we can't keep the name straight. The dagger, that kind of stuff. Several other pieces of gear that are not mentioned. And it was basically just like a footnote in the story of just like, and lo, Arthur received some cool shit. It was called this and that and the other thing, and it was very cool. We are never going to mention it again. Which honestly makes the joke about the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch even better in Monty Python once you understand that is basically how some of those things are treated, as plot devices that just never show up again. So, yeah, it's always been a little loosely defined. The basic idea is that the lance is like I think a terminal is probably the best way to put it, to a thing, which is usually called a tower, or a pillar of light or whatever, that fastens the 2 sides of the world together, whatever the fuck that means. Basically, it keeps reality and illusion apart. Like, it prevents the reverse side from crossing over or something. That should probably be more important to our current problem, because allegedly, if we didn't have the tower holding the pin together, that the reverse side could, like, come back and replace the existing texture and reenact the Age of Gods. That feels like that should be relevant right now, but no, we don't need more Artorias. It's fine.
I mean, technically, we do have someone swinging around a lance somewhere.
It's true. Maybe we will get into that in 6, but my general understanding is that 6 is kind of like a weird side plot. Like, some important stuff still happens in it, because it's, a major story chapter and also it's fucking long, but a lot of the crux of the conflict is kind of self-contained. Like, as we already saw with the fact that Lost Belt is fucking freaking out, bro. It is melting and exploding, but also not exploding. It's weird. We'll get into that soon. Not really, but, about a year. But yeah, so the spear is supposed to. I mean, like I said, it does play into the main plot line, but a lot of the crux of the conflict is just kind of out there on its own when we start. Yes, there's people we need to punch. And then
Violence.
It turns out that requiring to punch them has let us figure out other bullshit, but that's usually how this kind of stuff works. Like, I'm sure it'll be the same in Heian-kyo and Traum, like, literal side stories even more, because they're 0.5 chapters, but there'll still be important, plot advancement going on in them. But yeah, so to wrap back, I'm just checking the wiki really quick. There's not really seem to be a clear definition of what exactly it is. We just know that Rango does have 13 seals, just like Excalibur does. It's supposed to have a similar, like, holy light, divine construct, blah, blah, blah. And it, as a noble phantasm, it just has a big, shiny, explosive-y power, just like Excalibur. I guess it probably has some inherent, like, anti-mystery properties, but that's not really discussed. Honestly, if you want more Rango facts, I would keep an eye on whatever's going on with any adaptations of Case Files and the Case Files sequel, because that feels like, whatever's going on with why Gray has Rango Miniad in the modern day is probably much more explaining why Rango is important than just the fact that Lancer Artoria exists and shoots beams and has big tits. As for is Double X the most powerful because she has two? No, Servant Universe. The rules are different.
All right. Well, with that, let's move on.
Yeah.
So the next one comes from a master planning a double date with Siegfried Kriemhild and Sigurd Brynhild, with me as the chaperone.
You are going to be the most unimportant fifth wheel, buddy.
Just trying to imagine that. You're going to have a super lovey-dovey couple on one side that's trying to murder each other, then you're going to have, like, the most frosty relationship on the other. It's going to be quite the dynamic. Like, I think I've talked about this. Like, I do think that, like, looking at, like, how her lines are written, how her personality, I do think that Kriemhild still does care about Siegfried, but she's just so mad at him.
Yes. She's very upset. She's upset at him for being a dumbus, but she still, if she didn't care, she wouldn't be upset.
Yeah. So mad. That's why she's a berserker. I can't even deal with my husband right now.
I am very upset. But, we call Sumanai for a reason, so.
Yeah. But, oh, no, there's more to that. Hey guys, felt a little bad about missing mailbag previously, but due to various circumstances, it ended up not being an issue. Hope you're feeling better. Lucky accidents at work are never fun. It's not an accident, it's just, we had a few people missing, so I had to go do other jobs that I was not used to. I've lived a almost like sedentary lifestyle for like 2 years, and only like in the past.
Yeah, you got to enjoy the power of being a desk jockey, and then they were like, no, heavy objects for you, my friend.
Yeah. So, they go on to say, my question for this week is simple. What are your favorite themes from summer events we've had so far? Mine is the map theme from Summer 3. The CCC vibes are so good, and it's very relaxing to listen to. Like you guys. Well, thank you. Sending you guys well wishes and good vibes. Wah, 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 wah. See you at summer camps in a couple months. P.S. Say, Omega, what was the first archetype you came to enjoy playing in Yu-Gi-Oh? Mine was Six Samurai. They may not have been the strongest, but combo plays with them were so satisfying.
I mean, if you want the first actual, like, serious, vaguely structured thing I tried to build, besides just all my favorite cards from the anime, was I bought the old Dragon's Roar structure deck. Spoilers, Omega liked dragons, so I've also always been a Red Eyes guy, because that's the one that Red Eyes Darkness Dragon came in. So, yeah, that's me. Dragons. Dragon good stuff. And then I branched out into lots of other stuff, so you guys can follow that along by watching our prog series. Many, many fun things.
Lucky likes dragons too, but he's all about Dragon Maids and Yu-Gi-Oh! Even if he's never played a fucking game. And when was the last time I played Yu-Gi-Oh?
Actually, I don't know. It was definitely before Dragon Maids existed, because...
Yeah, it was.
By the way, to put this in perspective, we are at we have just released week 72 of Prog out of, I think I have, 99 projected. We have still not hit Dragon Maids. That's how new they are. We are, in the second to most recent rules iteration of Yu-Gi-Oh! We still haven't found Dragon Maids.
See, I was in high school when I played Yu-Gi-Oh! So that would have been almost 20 years ago.
It sounds about right.
A little less. But as to your first question, yes, Summer 3's map theme is one of the best to me. I love it.
Yeah, that's a very good one. I will also say just the original Summer 1 battle theme, that's so iconic.
It's like Samba to something.
Yeah.
Samba. Yeah. The battle theme and the map theme for Summer 1 is actually pretty good too. Now that I think about it, they're both very iconic in my brain.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's because, like, obviously there was a Christmas event, that year because how it, FGO was started in the summer. But, like, that summer was, the first summer is our first ever seasonal event and their first ever attempt to do that. It's just so summery, and you're just like, wow, this is actually quite a break from, the FGO having a very traditional, like, FGO, Fate-style music arrangement, remixing a lot of classic tracks and stuff.
Venus Racer from Summer 2 is also one of my favorites.
Yeah, it's a really good one. I think I have both Samba de Summer and Venus Racer purchased in the jukebox.
I know I do. I am excited about seeing maybe what's happening this summer. Summer 4 soundtrack, it's not the worst, but it's definitely not the best either. Nothing really, like, stands out to it to me.
Yeah. Like, the music is solid, but it's not really unique anymore, because it's the fourth iteration of Summer. And it's definitely, like, I know I saw some people in our Discord talking about how they thought the summer camp theme for Summer 5 was weird. I'm like, it's not really. 1, Summer Camp. 2, do you understand how much they love horror in Japan? And also, have you ever heard of a Friday the 13th? Like, obviously, Halloween, very iconic slasher movie, is set around Halloween, but, Friday the 13th has always been about Camp Crystal Lake and summer camp. So, it turns out slasher movies are actually a summer theme. Spoilers. Surprise. So that'll actually be fun to get into, and I hope they do some unique music for it. They can do some trippy stuff.
I'm excited.
Like, I don't like the writing of Salem, but Salem had a very unique sound packet. Who doesn't like Abby's leitmotif?
Abby's leitmotif is very good. I'm still very still conflicted about what I want to do this summer, because I'm not necessarily all in on my summer servants this year. Not like I usually am. Like, I want me a summer Kiara and a summer Abby, but out of those I'm just kind of like about.
Yeah, you gotta double check which banner is which.
I'm pretty sure they're both not on the same banner, so I'm gonna die probably, as usual.
As we usually do.
Well, we'll find out. We are slowly getting in there. Like I said, before I even have to worry about that, I gotta muster.
Yes, they are both the 5 stars, so yeah, they are different banners.
I have to muster myself for the OQ rerun and try and get more comma.
Yeah. Yes, so. I remember. I have a fairly easy time about this, because while the first banner is neat, the second banner is the danger zone for me, because that's Summer Tomoe and Summer Murasaki Shikabu. And banner with Abby is the 5-star. Banner 1 is Summer Kiara, Summer Ilya, and Summer Bryn. But yes, I'm interested in seeing what they do with the general vibes of that event. We'll be finding out a little bit. We still got a little while to wait. Like you said, we got OQ rerun to get through.
So, let's see here. Where were we? Here we are. So the next one comes from King of Apples, who recently just put a bunch of stuff in IRL. Second archive. Question, with the Spurs of server coins coming to you super early, what else might be coming to us sooner than it did in JP? I'm hoping the pity system, for one.
That would be a good one. I don't know if it'll be right away this year, but I could see that coming, like, maybe a year early, like next anniversary or something. The new dailies, I think, is, somebody just said that in our Patreon chat, the new dailies, I think, is something that's basically, like, guaranteed at this point, because they actively said when they launched the servant coins, they would like, hey, we know it's rough to level. We are looking at revamping the dailies soon to make it easier. And so I think we can all interpret that as, okay, the new revamped dailies are probably coming early. I assume at this anniversary. But really, it's like, it's completely open-ended. Like, the big ones are the pity system, and was that 6th year? Because New Year's this year was pity. Was it 6th anniversary was the once per day free paid St. Quartz roll? Was that 6th? Or was that 5th? Is that this year?
I'm not sure.
Because if that's 5th, obviously that's not coming early. That'll happen in like a month-ish. But if that was 6th, I could see them also tacking on that early, because that's really such a... The one free paid St. Quartz roll per day is like such a... I mean, it's good to give you more free rolls, but that is such a, like, bait feature, like, hey, just remember to log in every day and do a free roll. Free roll. You want to roll. And I'm like, yes, I do want to roll.
I'm trying to think of any other things that might have popped up in recent times, but unfortunately, there's a lot of things that they would like. There's a lot of quality of life they put in that I go, oh, that's neat, and it just kind of slips from my mind because like a lot of the quality of life, while neat and handy, are very rarely like earth shattering.
Yeah, they do 10 freaking like quality of life updates. Actually, I think technically JP usually does like a quality of life update every month, so like 12 a year. Usually like 2 or 3 of them at big events are like, holy shit, that's an amazing feature, the back button, shit like that, which we also got early. Skill speed animation updates would probably be good, yeah. That means we might get the free daily roll early if that was 6th anniversary.
Not entirely sure on that myself, but we will find out. Surely.
Yep.
So, let me think here. Oh. Excuse me. So, this next one comes from Krabs taking over the airport. Question. Hey, you know the geography in the Lost Belt world is Little World, right? Sail towards Atlantis, and there's this whirlpool where you fall down, and suddenly you're underwater where you're fighting Poseidon. So we're fighting Poseidon while falling down, and then you fall down even further, and we're something like a giant underground cavern. Where did all the water from the ocean go? But now there's an upside-down city that is Olympus, and now we're in an undercity next to a whirlpool that is draining the ocean, which means the cavern will eventually fill up, right? But if we're in a cavern, how do we suddenly fight in space with Zeus? Maybe you can have a video with drawings explaining the geography, terrain, and how this all works. Like it was talking about whoring himself for $100, he could like draw a new world map. I mean,
Hollow Earth theory, aliens did it.
I mean, I might guess being salty about it, but you have to remember, they actually talked about this in the Lost Belt, that Atlantis is basically in another dimension.
Yeah,
and the whirlpool...
I think they might be split up between the 2 chapters, but they do cover it.
And basically the whirlpool is just the gateway to that other dimension. And funnily enough, you don't actually have to have a drain to go to make a whirlpool. If you just have something going around and around and around and around constantly, you'll naturally generate a whirlpool. Especially if you have like a giant sea god machine just basically constantly patrolling.
Yeah, they did say that Poseidon was basically degraded to the border guard, and yes, water will naturally vortex. Like, maelstroms off like the Nordic coast, that the kind that got the Nautilus in the end of 20,000 Leagues. There's not like a giant drain hole at the bottom of the North Sea. It's just the currents there naturally form vortices.
So no, so I think it's probably column A of column B. Maybe some of the water is flowing into the other world, and who knows how that big is, since it is the entire domain of gods. And because it's another domain, that's why they can just go to go up in space, because guess what? You're not actually having
we did fall down a long way, because you have to remember, we are in a space plane ship boat thing now, submarine. Like,
a vessel.
The storm border got upgraded a lot. It does a lot of things now. So, we basically fall... Yes, I'm pretty sure the map at the end of Atlantis is supposed to indicate that you are fighting Poseidon. Like, I mean, you're not necessarily falling, because you can still hover, but, like, you are in this giant open space dealing with Poseidon before you can safely fall to the bottom, and that lets you, like, enter the portal to the new world. The Hollow Earth comparison is, I said that as a joke, Ancient Aliens, Hollow Earth, because that is technically what happened. I do believe they bring up Hollow Earth theory as a discussion, though. They talk about how people used to think the Earth was hollow. This is like that, only more advanced and more spacey. But yes, Olympus is not meant to be literally inside the Earth. It is different.
Remember, it is an interstellar mountain.
Yeah. And listen, I mean, if you think that the explanation is a bit thin, well, I can't really do anything about that. That's what it is. Mountain. Interstellar mountain. They call it what it is.
So, with that, we shall move on. This next one comes from Bunny Girl versus Winning Housing Savage. We did it, boys. Oh, you finally got a house in 14? Congratulations. I had half my free company up and abandoned me, so I'm a little upset about that and haven't been able to play 14 much recently. I cry a little bit. I cry. They actually say this. Evening or morning, maybe afternoon, gentlemen. No questions this week. Just wanted to celebrate the fact that I finally got a house in FF14. Have a good week, and may your rolls be blessed when you next roll. They actually said roll next, but I flubbed up my words. But yes, congratulations on getting a house. I know it's been a bit of a hassle, and now that there's lottery and all that stuff in there, it is a bit crazy. One day I'm going to get off my ass and get back into 14, but today is not that day. So we shall move on. This next one comes from laughing at the hypothetical scenario that even if the master got his paycheck, he still couldn't afford a house because inflation. That's a lie. Somehow fucking Japanese teenagers can just buy little fucking apartments and like barely work. I still don't know how the fuck they do this. What the fuck, fiction?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe they have to have some kind of a modicum of control on their rent system. You know, they have a market cap. Also, you know what it could be? It could just be that because they have Japan has a terrible birth rate. They don't necessarily have the like same urban growth flexing life increase problem we do.
Maybe.
But also, Lucky is absolutely correct. I do believe people doxed Sora in the Kingdom Hearts 4 trailer and said that he was staying in some apartment in like downtown Shibuya that cost like 6 figures.
Like how?
And I'm like, that dumbass don't have a job. He is a literal island bum. He never went to school. He keeps being in comas. Sora's ready to pay his taxes.
I was about to say, he didn't even make it to dinner!
What the fuck does Sora put on his 1099, huh? Keyblade Master, tentative. You need to file his Keyblade taxes. Where does the Japanese tax system put your income from all the money he makes from gummy ships, right? Because you can get gil that way.
Yes, I bumped these. My job is I bonk these shadow with this sweet ass stick I got, and money comes out, and you're just like, excuse me.
I mean, at the very least, in 4, there'll be a real excuse because he does fight Darkseid in the middle of Tokyo. Like, you're telling me the JSDF's not going to cut that kid a check? It's just like Mechagodzilla. Yeah, I love that joke. Somebody posted a gif of the Joker saying how he won't fight the IRS.
But they actually have something they want to say. Dear Lucky Omega, what dish would you eat from a Holy Grail?
Breakfast cereal.
Ramen.
Both are good. I wonder, the Holy Grail is gold. Would that be a problem with the boiling water? What's the heat retention on gold?
I mean, as long as you don't let it like soak.
True, you know, you'd
like to get that kind of I can't remember what the fucking term is, but basically when the heat makes the elements of the material leach off into whatever it is, that's not done at like that takes a little bit, and you need a certain amount of heat. If I just
funnily enough, I don't think you don't have to worry about that cross contamination with gold because gold is like biologically inert. What is it? Goldschlager, I think is yes. That there's a spirit that actually has tiny bits of gold in it that you can.
Yes, it has gold. It has gold flakes in it. I don't understand why this is a thing.
I mean, they sure look like they're made of gold. They've got a lot of magical energy. I don't know what that does. Maybe it's self-heating. Maybe it self-heats your ramen.
Honestly, the more I think about it, no, the Holy Grails aren't actually gold, because remember, they are just the physical representation of a fuck-ton amount of magical energy. But that actually concerns me more, because that I could definitely will believe that magical energy would cross-contaminate your soup. You can't convince me otherwise.
Just put some scoops of ice cream in there.
A Holy Grail sundae?
Yeah.
I'll get Tomacat on that shit immediately. But let us move on, then.
But, I mean, that involved udon noodles and Grail mud. Listen, if there's mud in your Grail, don't put food in it. That's definitely a health code violation. You will end up on Gordon Ramsay's kitchen nightmares so fast.
Alright, so let us move on. This next one comes from Hassan of the long-ass paragraph. It says, hey, Lucky of the Breast Valley and Omega of the Side Lords, how's stuff been for you too? No long-ass paragraphs today, just a question about level 120s. Will you be content with just level 20? Which I assume is going to be Tamamo Mordor for the two of you, or do you intend to 120 more than one servant? I'm conflicted because on one hand, I know I'm going to need to 120 Gilgamesh, but Aresh, Musashi, and Kama are also servants who I'd love to max out completely. The main detriment, of course, is the XP cards grind, but given I can take my time with it, it doesn't seem as daunting. Best of luck for your roles. I might end up scanning Castoria by the looks of things to ensure our feature comes home. Cheers. P.S. Yo, Charlie Sims have nothing on my board, Moriarty. Finally asking.
Fry eye narrowing gif.
Yeah!
Would you be sassing my boy Charlie? I do need to look at Moriarty's animations. I do find it fucking adorable he is a ruler with a ruler. I can't believe Raida did it, the madman. Oh, this is dramatic zoom, too. This is great. I'm going to start this gif for later. Y'all don't know how much I fry eye narrowing in my real life. It's
For me, I need to actually look at Moriarty and see if he's the same kind of character for old Moriarty. Because I love Moriarty because he's just a kooky old man. I don't know if Young Moriarty has that same energy.
Yeah, you look at his lines and stuff. He seems cool. He's got some interesting stuff with this kid, but we'll talk about that in a second. I mean, I love that he has a fucking sweater vest in his first ascension. Big professor energy. Hello, I'm going to teach you about math. And then we smash cut to Moriarty. Hello, I'm going to teach you about crime. What about math? No, just crime.
It's the same damn thing.
I mean,
if everything is math, therefore crime is math.
I mean, that's true. Also, some of my criminology courses, like my criminology theories, were pitched as basically mathematical equations.
Dynamics of an asteroid.
Subarashi. But, to the 120 question, I have to do my, servant coin math, because obviously that was a little delayed because it was bugged. I'd have to double check. Though I have gotten some bond ups on some servants, and it's always fun to see the little coiny dudes pop in for me. Get my Musashi and Summer Musashi and Lil Vinci bond levels up. Yeah, I presume I would go to 120 on at least Mordred. Though I don't know. I feel like, yeah. The main thing is I personally definitely want append skills more. And I don't know because I don't have a lot of extra NP levels. I'm the honest architect. I bet trigonometry doesn't help you even if you are a criminal.
Listen, I haven't even used basic algebra in my everyday life, so I still don't understand why they make you want to teach it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess just solve for. I learned how to solve for x when I was 10. I think that's the most use I ever got out of algebra. Figuring out how to realizing as a child that variables exist and that you can figure out what they are with math, useful. All the other shit, I don't even remember what I did so bad on my ACT scores for math. I had to take an extra math class to get my college level math credit. I don't remember what the fuck was in that class. I think I got a D in that still. And I don't remember any of it because I don't think it was useful. I don't think I've used any of it. The most I used is my probability, which was the only math class I've ever gotten an A in was stats and prob.
Because guess what? There's actually use for understanding statistics and probabilities.
Yeah, and it's a lot easier to wrap your head around because algebra is fucking abstract as hell, and stats and probability aren't. Hey, what's the probability of a coin flip? It's 50-50. You can see there's two sides, there's two outcomes. Now the question is, will it always be exactly 50-50? You may have to coin flip for eternity, but yeah, no. With the servant coins thing, I would like some 120s because I talked about this with Atlantis and Olympus. Level 100s are fucking cracked. I would love the extra stats for 120, but I don't know if I got the coins for that. I think Lucky, you even talked about how you're not sure you have the coins for some of that, and you have high NP levels in quite a few of your servants because it takes so many. I think don't you need either over bond 10? So you have to spend a bond grail, or you need NP6 to max out an SSR?
Yeah, I think once, my Talamosa hasn't made it to bond 11 yet, but I'm pretty sure once I do that, she'll have enough that I can do everything, I think. I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what we said. Bond 13, NP6, yeah. So, it's rough. I don't have those kinds of NP levels, so, and my Mordred is still working on her bond 11. So I'm probably going to focus on skills. I would eventually, like I said, want to get somebody to 120, then I might have to wait a while. I mean, it is true, you can hypothetically consider the edge, but that's an edge case? Little stats even for you.
Don't do that.
Just put me in a sweater vest and give me a slide rule. What am I talking about? My hair's definitely not that cool. I really need a haircut.
I actually got a girl actually complimented me on my undercut today. I was very ecstatic.
It's been a while since I got compliments from a stranger on my hair. My hair was also usually cut better. Currently, I'm very 70s right now.
I told everyone I'm trying to go for a Ronin samurai look.
Rad. Hey, whatever works.
It does. I think it really does. I have the undercut. I basically keep, I tie my hair off really high. Unfortunately, I have black hair, so it doesn't fall right, but it poofs out a little bit, so I'm all close enough.
Lucky rocking that warrior's wolf tail?
A little bit, yeah.
We've gotten way off topic with this question. But that's what you are here for, isn't that right, audience?
Yeah, you are. Don't lie to us.
I mean, the views certainly show it. If we don't get off topic enough and make our show like at least 2 hours, you guys don't watch it, I guess. Actually, let me check how well last week did.
Are we that boring? I cry.
No, okay, it crossed 1,000. It had a slow growth, but it crossed 1K views. It's doing okay. It took a little bit. To percolate. They're still sluggish compared to some of our highest highs and most average numbers, but they're not god awful. But I do think you guys like the longer shows better. As evidenced by the fact that we get shitloads of views when we record for like 6 hours. Unfortunately, we can't really do that without some kind of prompt. Usually a story release. But who knows? Maybe when Anniversary comes out, we can talk for a million years. We'll see what goodies Nii-san has for us.
I mean, I think the easiest thing for us to do is just have me to stream FGO or something, and I just don't let you. I just keep feeding you prompts.
Yeah. I mean, that's how. Sometimes I wonder if What's Up is just an excuse for you to play different video games, and you just like, all right, I'm gonna play video games. Omega, talk about this. It does feel like that some weeks.
It usually is. Well, again, this is the problem. I'm very bad about actually writing things down.
Yeah. Well, and this is why I always try and be like, okay, Lucky, I've talked for 2 hours. Did you read a book? Did you watch any anime this week? Hey, do you have something you want to talk about? And sometimes you remember, and sometimes you don't.
As I'm talking about, it's like I should write some things down. But don't worry, I'll be able to talk about. I'm gonna try and beat Strikers tonight. I'm gonna try.
Yeah, so we'll have a wide variety of things. Tune into What's Up. Also, go back and watch last week's What's Up. Maybe that was the State of Play one, so we had a lot to talk about then.
Excuse me. Shit. Unfortunately, I have been very tired from doing this stuff, so I'm a little bit more out of it than I usually am. So let us keep moving on. The next one comes from a masked man marketing mysterious merchandise. Question: Dear High Roller Lucky and All in Omega. Hope summer has been treating you guys well. I got my few fingers that crossed the anniversary. I've just got my fingers crossed that the anniversary banner hits the first week of July, since I won't have access to cell/internet service throughout most of the month due to military duties. Anyway, for my question this week, is it worth it to spend RP on trial quests in the event shop if you're free to pay and you don't have a bunch? If not, what would you recommend spending them on if someone has already unlocked all the events and Mysticodes? Take care of yourself. I'll be sending the good vibes. Wah 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 wah. RP on trial quests, huh?
I mean, I would say I think it's okay because it costs less than like costumes and Mystic Codes and stuff. I think do, and they've been doing in JP. We talked about one of them even today. They've been doing a pretty good job of making them free, and they will refund you if you've already spent RP on it. So it's one of those things where it's kind of like an investment. You can do them now to get like usually a summon ticket or something. Fill out your free to play backlog, and eventually you'll get them back. So long as you plan for that, it seems fine.
Yeah, I have nothing else to really add to that. I hate to sound like Mr. Moneybags, but free to play concerns are literally like my.
Yeah, you don't know a lot about the free to play grind. Even me, I've spent a decent amount of money on this game. But also, even when I was free to play, I had horrible luck with 4 stars. Do you guys know how many fucking ME and Stheno coins I have? It's a lot.
So let me see here.
They're doing more to make rare prisms more common, though, as well, so you should expect to see that uptick over the years. So it seems alright. Oh my god, what the fuck? Sorry, I've been absolutely poleaxed. I am going to derail the show.
What'd you do?
I'm just scrolling through my news feed because I'm trying to remind myself if there's been any weird, fun video game news from, announcements I've missed from streams and stuff today, and I have just been attacked by the news. Duke Nukem movie in the works from Cobra Kai creators. And I'm just like, what the actual fuck?
I mean, honestly, who asked for Cobra Kai?
True. I think the Cobra Kai guys asked for Cobra Kai, and to be fair, they've done a good job with it. It's not like I'm not gonna say that this movie will be bad. I'm just like, what the fuck? Did those guys really like Duke Nukem?
Well, I mean, this is what I'm talking about. This is why I have to yell at people. I'm gonna wait and see until actually what kind of premise they want to do with it.
It's true. Somebody did try and shame that animation. Somebody announced a new Dragon Age animation, and I'm just like, nah, don't be like that.
No, so it's okay to be a little flabbergasted, but just wait until you actually see.
I'm not gonna be like, oh, this is gonna suck. I'm just like, what? Where did this come from? It's like a flying kick to the face. What? I need to save that gif.
Is it gonna be a live action or an anime?
Well, let me pull up the exclusive from the Hollywood Reporter and hope there's not like a giant audio. Duke Nukem 1920s. Legendary Entertainment, who did Dune and Kai on the board. The producer who did Assassin's Creed. That's a little bit of a shaky there. That's about the actual Duke Nukem game. They're looking for a writer. Sounds like it is going to be live action. I mean, that's going to be interesting because you're going to have to cast Duke Nukem, but, the guys behind Cobra Kai know what they're doing. Some of the other people involved with, Legendary Pictures and shit, like, they named the producer who did the Assassin's Creed movie. I'm just like, ooh, that's not a great sign.
I was about to say, I actually forgot that was a thing.
Yeah, I mean, I will say this. I think that speaks better to the movie for the fact that it wasn't, abysmal, because you didn't remember that it was awful. You just didn't remember it. But no, they tried to adapt Assassin's Creed to a movie, and it wasn't super spectacular. I don't think it was, offensively awful. I think it was just a little, Assassin's Creed was probably a weird choice.
That reminds me, I still need to go check out the damn Uncharted movie at some point.
Yeah, I need to watch it. I wonder when Sony will put it up for us, or show it off for something. I did recently see an actually useful YouTube ad that told me that the latest James Bond movie is apparently free on Prime Video. It's included with Prime. I'm just like, ooh, neat. Streaming is so weird, y'all. Once again, to continue the derail very slightly, because I don't know if I'm going to remember this minor point tomorrow on What's Up, but I booted up my Netflix to watch some Love, Death, and Robots, which I'll talk about more on What's Up tomorrow. I'm sure I'll have watched many more shorts by that time. But I pulled it up, and apparently Netflix is starting to either bring back or bring in Mission Impossible movies. Starting with the old ones, of course. They already have old Top Gun. But it's weird, because they go 1, 2, 4. And I'm just like, what? Listen, I know some of the old Mission Impossible movies were bad, but you still got 1 and 2. We're just gonna go straight to 4? It's weird. What kind of licensing bullshit is this? What is happening here? So yeah, streaming be weird. I wonder if Sony would eventually let Uncharted go to Netflix. I did see, I think it was one of the Amazing Spider-Mans on Netflix, so I think they have some kind of dealy-do. What is our next questione, though?
Our next questione comes from Moon is losing faith in humanity after learning about some fucked up, traumatizing stuff. Question. Hello there, Lucky Meg. Hope you're doing well. What's something that you do that would always cheer you up on a bad day? Joke's on you. I'm never cheered up. I am just slightly more sad and upset every day. No, it is actually kind of true, though. I really don't have anything that cheers me up. I just have a variety of coping mechanisms.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to, cheer up. I don't really know if that necessarily describes... there's some stuff I can always, a show or a book or story or something I can always read that'll, bring me a little bit of joy, but, if I'm not in a mood to be happy, I'm not in a mood to be happy. Usually I just do stuff to just be like, okay, I'm in a funk. I'm going to distract myself for a little bit until I can, get back on the even keel. But yeah, I mean, that is usually just even if it's just I want a little bit of a, pleasant surprise. I, bust out some of my anime DVDs or Blu-rays, watch some shows. Hey, at least I said, it was off mic, but I said it Twitter trends correctly earlier. I didn't say Twitter tweds like I usually do.
Twitter.
With my big fat tongue.
I have certain habits, if I'm, not feeling well or if I'm sick, I usually just put on Netflix just to binge shit. Yep.
No, that's absolutely... When I'm fucking sick or brain melted and I'm like, I'm just gonna lie in bed, what do? Netflix.
But it doesn't necessarily make me feel better, because I'm usually, going over my list of things I haven't watched yet that I'm, desperately trying to catch up on.
Yeah, I wouldn't say cheer up is the correct emotion for it. It's just if I don't watch something, I'm just gonna sit here and slowly die. So, what can we do to distract from that? Oh, this looks interesting. Nope, that's too much for me. My brain's melting too much. Let's pick something different.
I'm trying to think. If there's, I think I have one answer for you. But I wouldn't say this is something that cheers me up, but this is something that balances me out. Cause, there is, one anime that, I would, if I'm actually, not having a great day that I would watch, and I wouldn't necessarily feel better, but I would say things usually don't feel so bad. It calms me down. Because I just got smashed by a fucking spider robot. Thanks. And now I'm surrounded by snakes. Thanks, spider snakes.
Snake. Ooh, it's a snake. And now everybody at home, let me know in the comments if you immediately started going betcha right after that. Let's age check everybody in the audience. Vibe check.
But what was I saying? I was saying words. What were they?
What anime you like to watch?
Tanaka-kun is always listless. It's just such a chill, low stakes anime that I can just watch it and just be at peace with the world. Like, it's one of those things about, like, I watch that show and I'm just like, yeah, things suck right now, but you know what? I'm not dead, and life goes on. That's kind of an attitude I have about a lot of my life. Like, I will never actually tell someone I am happy or I am angry. I am upset, because I try to focus on, like, big picture kind of things a lot. This is actually something that my work actually, like, really compliments me on, is the attitude I have about how the business works and how things don't necessarily, like, work properly. This is why I got in this situation of have to work the other position, is that there was a lot of people who were very bitter or upset when their jobs trying to make them to do things that they don't want to do or can't necessarily do. And they came to me about that, and I was just like, no, I understand it. You are technically a nonprofit company, but you still need to, make your profits and whatnot, because you have operating costs and all that crazy stuff. And those operating costs are based on, us making sales here. And if one part of the machine doesn't work properly, then everything falls to pieces and everyone's having a fucking bad day. So I straight up told them, I do not like this. I actually hate this, but I'm going to do it because, I don't want everything to fucking fail. And
this is why that's one of the things you might call a good work ethic.
Yeah.
There are other circumstances where people might call other things a good work ethic, but just being like, no, I do not like this. Please, if you can take me off this, I would like it, but I'll do it.
Yeah. And like, that's the attitude I have about many things. So I am never necessarily. I try to stay even keeled in all my emotions, whether that's good or bad. And so it's very hard for me to say if anything actually like really cheers me up, because
I don't think I'm exactly the same way you are, but it's definitely the kind of thing where, like, I don't usually swing from like, oh, I'm in a down mood, like whether that's existential terror about us living on a little blue marble or whatever, or just like, fuck, I feel like, shit today, I didn't sleep good. I slept on, a pen or a comb or a controller. Yeah, sometimes I do pass out and roll over controllers. It's very uncomfortable. And just like, I don't feel good. What do I do? Like, I don't usually go from that state to like an up state, like, woo, I feel great. I'm excited to be alive. Woohoo. Normally what I do is I just, queue up something on YouTube, or I go to my DVD shelf. Very occasionally, I will grab games that like give me a positive vibes. For a long time that used to be actually like when I was just like, shit, I just want to kind of play something debrained, is just I would play Titanfall 2 multiplayer, but then I heard a lot of people complaining that the servers were weird, and I kind of phased out of that one. I don't really know what I would go back to. I mean, Alien is kind of like that, but that requires a little bit of attention. But just doing stuff, whatever is kind of like your thing. I assume but the person who wrote this question, and just in general people, you have a like whatchamacallit, like, I assume you have hobbies, you have stuff you like to do, focus on those. Like, obviously, God damn it. Sorry, somebody just said a cheesy line in patron chat. But, like, focus on those kinds of things. And I would say, not necessarily, like, I don't feel cheered up by creative efforts. Creative efforts for me are more like I just go into a manic episode or a fugue state, and next thing I know, 4 hours have gone by, and I am writing about, what's underneath Oklahoma or whatever.
God damn it. I really hope. I'm concerned.
Follow me on Twitter, you can see stuff. I got the AI bot to do something funny. Red Lit Cave. But But yeah, like just that, like whenever like the creative urge, just like my brain gets an idea and spills over to me. That's not like a happy thing. That's just like a work, focus, do the thing, do research. We must do research. Fucking tracking down the Call of Cthulhu Australia supplement because it's got stuff about critters and things in it.
I'm concerned slightly.
Oh, you should be.
I'm glad you gave me a. No, I'm not gonna call that out. Go listen to the AP to learn what Kara got. That's a very good thing and a very, very terrifying thing.
Yeah, we had fun. We might talk about it a little more on WhatsApp. But no, seriously. But also, by the way, check out the Delta Green APs. Like, shocker, as you might expect from me, and my level of talking, my level of like writing content and doing research is like that for most things. If I sound like a goobus in the middle of the show, that's because we're doing this improv style, and I didn't have 5 hours to research what I was leaving my mouth. But you know, it's very content dense, and I would be glad for people. Like, obviously, I greatly appreciate that, you know, my various players are appreciating it, but also it would be nice if even the wider audience could appreciate it as well. Check it out; it's cool, and it's got shitloads of hours in it. Like, if you just want to listen to us, is that your relaxing thing? Like, listening to us yell about stuff is what lets you, you know, forget your worries and recenter yourself on your life and stuff. You know, go for it. Though I will say, I don't do it as much anymore because I watched too much Bob Ross. I started to like pick up on every little one of his like tics and tropes and stuff. But for a while, I was listening to old episodes of Bob Ross' Joy of Painting to go to sleep. That's very relaxing, very calming, very structured, very nice. Also, you know, it'll just blow your goddamn mind. Like, seriously, you'll be sitting there and then you watch him for 10 minutes and you're like, Bob Ross, where the fuck did this cabin come from? 10 minutes ago, this was a field that was green. Now there is a fucking lake and a cabin in it. How did you turn those brown lines into trees? What the fuck? It's phenomenal.
Sorcery!
Literal sorcery. Happy little cloud.
Yeah, fuck you, Ganesha.
Bonk.
This double tusk motherfucker.
This tusk-having motherfucker.
Oh yeah, I actually did like call Dallas's character a fucking bitch, so that was entertaining. Go listen to that.
You guys are, and I think great out of character at not necessarily having it spill over to the player end, which is always a danger. But you guys are great at role playing dysfunctional coworkers. Like, sometimes we don't even there's no need for me to like artificially inflate conflict. It's just the character's own attitudes and personalities and job roles are just like, okay, we're gonna be weird now. But I guess I think we have answered that question and some change.
I called Dallas Dr. Professor Moore my fucking bitch. Will not let him have his C4.
That was hilarious though, because I think he suggested the C4 because he was like, now hold on, can I have C4? Because I says in Adensil, I'm like, I mean, I guess you're asking to see your government conspiracy. This was very hilarious, though, because technically Dallas was asleep during this entire conversation, so we had to, like, discuss how would he be making this request, and it's just like, I guess there was a post-it note on the conspiracy board this morning. C4? Question mark? Hey, you might get a use out of the bag of C4. I don't know if Dallas will get a use out of it, but somebody might get a use out of it.
I mean, we gave it to the person with the highest demolitions, and probably one of the steadiest minds. Yeah. I.e. not Kyra and not Mormo. So, let's move on. This next one comes from a man who's learning for the first time how tiring it is to wash a car by hand. Oof. I don't mean to sound weird, but you've never washed a car by hand? I was doing that shit when I was like 6. Just because it gave me a reason.
You know, some people may not have enjoyed the character building moment of your parents getting you to do manual labor.
Oh, that's
or
true,
other extended family. But no, absolutely. You kidding me? Who's gonna pay for a car wash? I mean, we did it a couple times when cars are really dirty. But, you know, you've got hoses and sponges. Get a 5-gallon bucket. Put a little dish soap in there.
Yeah.
Hey, it's a great way to cool off in the summer.
I mean, that's the reason why we did it. Yeah. I was like, get that fucking hose, drink that water, splash those tires. I always hated doing the tires the most because they always had the fucking crevices of ground. I was just like, why? I hated it.
And this is basically why that Power Wash Simulator game is like sorcery to us. Formative years. But hey, I don't know your life.
I don't know your life, but it's just one of the, again, like I try not to fall into the trap of solipsism, but just every once in a while I'm just like, wait, you didn't do that? I thought everyone did that. And I'm just like, no. And I'm just like, wow. It is pronounced solipsism, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. Solipsism is basically thinking that your view is like the only view in the world or something like that. But they go on. Hey, what's up? I can't think of any questions for today after doing some errands. Well, I'll let you have some breathing room for other mailbags. At least I now have better equipment, so my at-home car washing is less difficult. P.S. for Omega, yo, I'm a little late on this, but I did hit the jackpack and pulled a Ghost Rare Dark Magician Girl. At least something good did come out.
Yeah, it's nice. Ghost rares are still pretty rare.
Bick.
I don't own a Ghost Rare. But that's because people on the internet charge you a shitload for them, so I can't even buy one as a funny haha. You guys don't pay me enough for that.
I've gone too far on my credit cards. I actually have to. I've been trying to crank back on my spending.
I gotta not dump a shitload of money because there's a lot of stuff coming out. There's a couple of games in July I want to get, and technically, I think the print version of the next Daidoji Shin doesn't come out until a little like the last month in June. It's on Kindle and I think Audible, but the print, and I'm like, oh, but I want it to go on the collection with my shelf.
There's a lot of books that I want to get in print, but I just can't right now because I literally do not have the shelf space. And that's why I keep buying fucking audiobooks. Which I gotta buy more of because I finished like 10 books of Cradle. I finished 5 books of Defiance of the Fall. Now I started reading the fucking novels on Royal Road. I'm still leery about all that shit, but I want to get Legends and Lattes in print because goddamn it, Travis Baldry, why are you so good?
Yeah. And it looks nice, as I'm staring at it right now, sandwiched between some of my Lee and Hearn and my Locked Tomb series. It's a nice cover, nice production. Looks clean. I do believe we talked about this when I reviewed it. I do believe mine was print on demand, so it's a nice print quality for it. Nothing seemed wrong about it.
I want to get the first. I want to see. Actually, I don't know if they actually have a physical version of Beware of Chicken. I know they got the Kindle deal, Kindle and Audiobook deal. I don't know if they actually have a physical print. I need to check on that. But there's a lot of books I want, and I don't have a lot of space because I keep buying. Like, I'm running out of space. I need more space. I have to stop buying things for that, and I don't want to though. Also, buying that comma figure, which isn't coming out for literally 2 years, like was also a chunk.
Yeah, that happens. That's how I feel when I order my boxes of Yu-Gi-Oh. Where it's and that's a shorter turnaround even, but still, it's like, okay, I'm gonna pre-order this ahead of time. I'm gonna set up my PayPal Pay in 4, and I'll be dealing with this for the next month or two. The cards are cool though. But okay,
here we are.
Oh, that does remind me though. If I want to buy a new Yu-Gi-Oh set, I think I gotta buy a new binder. Because guess what? Yu-Gi-Oh cards take up space too.
Nice.
All right, well, we got a couple more.
Yep. So this next one comes from Tiger King entering Dominion tomorrow with his trusty Velociraptor, Blue. I have not actually seen the second Jurassic World movie. Now that I think about it.
I don't think you need to see the second to see the third one.
We'll see. Question: hey, don't stop the music, Lucky, running in the 90s Omega with for fifth anniversary coming soon to North America. What has been your biggest piece of advice to all newcomers that will come and join our lovely, unique family at Chaldea? That's it for me. Sending good vibes your way. Wah, 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 wah. And hope you have a nice weekend. Reference Initial D.
Biggest piece of advice, sorry.
Relax.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's in general, a lot of the advice I want to give people. Just don't freak out. Calm down. Think about it a little bit.
Yeah, and take everything at your own pace. Because, we've talked about this even ourselves. We're obviously very well invested in FGO, both monetarily and temporally. You know, we shoot the show, we spent money, all that stuff. Even we're freaked out a little bit by, some ultra-hardcore players who are doing, 4-digit lotto boxes and shit like that, right? All those people on my friends list, it's not a lot, but there's a few who have already have level 120 servants and shit like that, right? If you're jumping into FGO, don't feel the need to do that. You don't need to go that hardcore. You don't need to max out your lotto box farming. You don't need to, go crazy on your servant coins or whatever. You don't even really need, that urgently to keep up with the story. Obviously, you should work on the story and you should catch up because eventually you'll be locked out of content that way. But it's also not so bad that you can't, take everything at your own pace, like he said. So, don't think about it too much. Relax. Maybe do a little bit of pre-planning. We have Advantage of Clairvoyance. You can look up when banners happen for servants you care about if you want to plan your spending, whether it's free-to-play or not. And, just take everything at your own pace. And, when you're all cut up, we'll be waiting for you. Just watch out for those gremlins. Spoiler chat, y'all. Those Discord sewer goblins.
Alrighty.
Sorry, I had to put the turnkey back in my wind-up brain.
That happens occasionally.
Spoilers about that didn't sleep good conversation. That was me today. I woke up a little earlier and I was like, no, don't go back to sleep. You'll pass out for 2 or 3 more hours and that won't be good for you either. So I'm a little groggo. Just insert TV static whenever we take a long pause.
Sorry, you said My Pace, and so I went to go see if I can find gifs of the My Pace opening from Bleach. And I'm just looking at Bleach gifs now, and I'm just all like, oh god, this show was so crazy sometimes.
Yeah, fucking sliding. Talking about having lots of characters. It's some fun, Both anime original and even in the original manga, there was plenty of comedic bits. Chidi Kubo knows what's up.
That reminds me, I need to check on that the new Bleach adaptation,
especially the titties. Those are right.
Did you see that interview or see that article?
No, I don't think I've actually seen that.
Tita Kubo actually did an interview recently and talked about his designer. Apparently, the thing that he finds the hardest to fucking draw are breasts.
Well, that's clearly why there's so many of them. He's trying to get the practice in.
But he was also talking about, it's like, if you're gonna draw him, you gotta draw him big. And he was just like, I was like, god damn it.
Hello, base department?
It was pretty good.
I'm gonna go watch that trailer again when we're done here.
I'm actually totally thinking about that too. So anyway, we got one more here. This one comes from Agent 41A, the Wifu Stiller, who says, hello, Lucky Omega. Have a great weekend. I have never beat Mega Man X, even though that is literally the one I played the most.
Have I ever beaten Mega Man X? I know I've gotten to the Sigma stage. The problem with Mega Man games is the final stages, the Wily's Castle or Sigma or whatever, they're always so fucking hard.
In Mega Man X, I can beat all the Robot Masters, but once I actually get to Sigma's Castle, I think when I was a kid, I always got fucking blocked by the fucking Robot Spider. I think that was the second boss in the area. I should really get a Mega Man. I should get a Mega Man X collection. I should actually work through that.
Yeah, and some of them do have assist features. So you can, if you're an adult now and you don't have the time for that bullshit anymore, you can work through them a little easier. I know that the Mega Man Zero and ZX collection had I think it was called casual mode, but basically even though it's on a consoles and PC, it includes save states and automatic checkpoints and shit, and you don't die if you fall in pits, just so that you can get your ass kicked a little less.
No, I have to do it. I have to do it. I have to do it the proper way. I have to surpass my... How old was it when I had Mega Man X? I was in middles. No, it was when I had my Super Nintendo, so that was 25 years ago. I must surpass myself from 25 years ago.
I also need to buy some Mega Man collections, but that's only because... By the way, Capcom, I know you're great right now with Street Fighter and Resident Evil and shit. I will once again reiterate, where's my Mega Man shit, guys? Because I bought Mega Man X and Mega Man, the original classic Mega Man collections. When you made those for PS2, the original Mega Man Legacy and Mega Man X Legacy collections were on PS2. It's crazy. And we still haven't gotten past that. But I need to buy some new ones. I bet Modern X collections, you can probably get the latest couple of 3D ones.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know aren't super popular, but I did not have a huge opportunity to play them. But alright, we wish that person a great weekend as well.
Mm-hmm. And Mega Man X Legacy collection. Okay, that's what I need to get. That will have all of it.
Sweet, sweet Legacy. Sorry, my brain's just running through 5 billion Mega Man themes in my head. The Mega Man soundtrack is goated with the sauce. X is a very iconic soundtrack.
Damn it!
What is it about just that little chipset that's just so memorable? Wizards.
When we get done with Ace Attorney, fuck it. You think we should do an X playthrough?
No, we could do that. That actually probably wouldn't take too long. I mean, the Sigma stuff might be difficult, but other than that, it's just you got to remember the order. Which technically you don't even have to. I mean, quote unquote, remember the order. You just have to find whichever Maverick you can beat first, and then it's usually easier. But yeah, we could do some X. Love me some Mega Man. Love me all kinds of Mega Mans, actually. I like Classic, I like X, I like Battle Network, I like Zero. Love ZX. ZX3 never.
Oh, let's see here. I think mine was X. I played a little bit of Zero, and I played a little bit of ZX. I think I played a little bit of Battle Network, but it wasn't necessarily my jam because, I mean, it got weird, y'all. Don't lie to yourself.
Yeah, no. When you have games that are made in the modern era and we can tell stories in them, that are more complex than fight for everlasting peace, Mega Man. Not to say that some of the actual plots in the Mega Man games aren't crazy, but they're very limited. It's just like, Dr. Wily is back again. Dr. Wily got this other doctor to do it for him.
Listen, I still remember all the upgrades in Mega Man X are, because you get the boots in the Ice Age, you get the chest piece in the Forest Stage, you get the helmet in the Sky Stage, and you get the special cannon upgrade in the fucking Flame Stage. And I remember all that shit.
Nice.
Still.
It's burned in there.
It's burned in my brain.
Yeah, the only one that I can't say for sure is I never played Legends and I never got to play Star Force.
I don't remember where all the sub-tanks are, though. I think that's my problem right now.
I mean, if we streamed it, Lucky, it wouldn't matter because chat would be calling that shot like 5 screens from there. They'd be like, the energy tank, and we're like, dude, there's like a 10-second delay. We are gone.
I mean, I think I'd be okay with chat yelling at me where things are, because again, I wouldn't actually remember where everything is.
Yeah.
Like, I remember where the heart tank is in the Sky Stage. I think you need the dash to get the heart in the Ice Stage. I can't fully remember everything, but it's one of those things like I feel like I'll remember once I actually start fucking playing.
Muscle memory runs deep, yo.
Yeah, so yeah, people are if you don't have anything you necessarily want to play into, yeah, I'm feeling some Mega Man X. I will buy that shit.
Like I said, big fan. So, and who knows, we might even, because obviously Legacy Collection of multiple games, we might even break it up because obviously Great Ace Attorney Chronicles is technically 2 games, and it's chunky. We did 3 hours just on the first half of Case 2.
And I really don't feel like we made a lot of progress, Jesus. I'm not gonna lie.
No, it's a little circular and a little handholdy. I get they're trying to do honestly, I think they shot themselves in the foot. Because for story reasons, Susato was such a minor character in the first case, but obviously she is quite important overall. I feel like they realized that they had to do a case where she's introduced for real that involves a lot of heavy lifting, and the same with like Herlock Sholmes because he's got a whole mechanic behind him, and it's just like, okay, you need to like really sell us on these characters, but also, oh my god, guys, I want to get on with it. I don't think we left the cabin for like an entire fucking hour of just being like, no, I did not. I was locked in a wardrobe. I didn't do it. I am not the criminal.
It's like, you said you're the criminal, and you're just like, God damn it!
Susato takedown counter. Ding!
We're at 4, by the way.
Yeah, we got judo thrown 4 times in 3 hours. It will not be the last. We're still having fun, but it's definitely, it's an interesting experience. I like it a lot, but also it's like, oh my god, guys. I guess, we can... You can give a little balance. We're not positive all the time. Sometimes we're just like, all right, you're killing me, Smalls. But Capcom divergences aside, let's move on from the mailbag and from all that free talk stuff. We'll give Robyn a rest with whatever nonsense he called that in the timecodes.
Capcom
because we're going to talk about new servants.
Yay.
We know you're all excited. All right, so we're going to start at the top. Young Moriarty first. He is a ruler of evil. So he's a limited SSR ruler. He's new. He has moderate attack and HP, kind of in the middle-ish of everywhere. I think I wrote this wrong. It's QAAAB, I believe. I think he has a caster deck. I'll double-check, because my notes were truncated, but I believe that was correct. Which is a little interesting. Oof. Let's double-check. Just to be safe, because sometimes I say dumb stuff. Yes, caster deck. Quick arts, buster. Slightly higher than average hit counts. He's 4 everywhere. So he actually, of course, has a fairly low NP gain. It's 0.37. And that happens sometimes when you can do your own arts chains, If you can't actually do your own arts chains, the 20% you get is perfectly fine. It will make up for the lower gain. Just keep an eye out for it. So his NP itself is an AoE arts, which is a very funny name, by the way. Mathematical Malignant Annihilate. Look at this dude. So it's AoE, it does extra damage to those of the good alignment, does 158% extra damage, so basically a whole-ass type damage multiplier in there. It increases his own NP damage first, based on overcharge, and also inflicts all enemies with skill seal for 1 turn, and makes them evil for 3 turns. Gives them the evil alignment. Or as I wrote in my notes, makes them evil for 3 turns. I'm sure that will not have any interesting, stupid damage comp combos where Moriarty makes enemies evil and then you bully them harder. Speaking of bullying people who are evil, first skill gives him a 2-3 evade, so 2 attacks, 3 turns. Very good. Gives him sure hit for 3 turns. Also pretty good. It reduces all enemies' arts resistance for 3 turns, 10 to 20%. And then basically doubles that if they're evil. So it's a further 10 to 20%. So if you drop this on an enemy who is evil, they get 40% arts resistance down. Which is pretty spicy. That's almost times 1.5, you know?
Mhm.
And he gets evades and sure hit out of it too, so, you know, fairly spiced. His second skill is pretty basic. It's a card improvement for all 3 card types for 3 turns, 20 to 30%. Also increases on critical damage by that same amount for 3 turns. So a separate quick arts and buster buff plus a crit damage buff. It's all 20 to 30% for 3 turns. Fairly standard. I mean, the main thing here is just, I guess, they don't want to, like, give him too crazy stats. It's just a little weird when they're like, all right, we're just going to improve everything by 30% for 3 turns, so half the time you're improved. It is minimum 6, so it's only half the time. Though, again, maybe that's the point, because his third skill, called Dice Selection EX, it gives him a 30 to 50% battery, which is, again, also probably another reason why he has a low NP gain. It gives you 10 to 20 stars, and then it does a coin flip. You thought that was just irrelevant. No. So basically there is an equal 50-50 chance of him getting one of the following buffs. Either he gets Star Absorption on arts cards or Star Absorption on buster cards for 1 turn. And it's weighted evenly 50-50, but you can't get both and they don't proc, so it's always one or the other, basically. It's not like a Liz Roulette. It's either you get the arts or the buster. So, you know, it's an interesting split. His passives are Independent Action A, so his critical damage is already raised. A special version of Territory Creation called Conspiracy Creation, by the way. That gives him arts up and also gives him increased NP damage on his own as well. And then he has another very good passive. So he doesn't have magic resistance like rulers usually do. He has a special skill called Panic Cut. It makes him immune to Charm, Confusion, Terror, and Skill Seal.
Skill Seal, really?
Yeah, he is straight up immune to Skill Seal. He's also immune to Terror and Confusion, and straight up immune to Charm. It's a very good package. So, on the one hand, seems like a pretty straightforward arts looping type build. He has 3 arts card. He lowers enemies' arts resistance. He can self-NP steroid. He gets a trait damage. But the fact that he has that, you know, that coin flipping possibility in his third skill, which has a pretty big battery, you might do some arts crits, or you might do a buster crit that slaps pretty hard, because he does have critical buffs. But with his trait damage and special immunities, he feels like a fun choice for certain challenging content, like story bosses or CQs and stuff. You know, because of those immunities, he will actually probably be pretty popular with certain weird boss fights. Also, he does have that sort of trust no one, not even yourself append skill. He does get bonus damage against rulers. He is still Moriarty, so that's pretty funny.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's not a crazy kit. And like I said, I need to look up his like animations and stuff to see how that goes. But he definitely has some interesting potential, and they did not softball some of those passives. So next, we're going to talk about the Don. So if I have read the reports correctly, I believe he is a story-locked SR Lancer. He's also accompanied by Sancho, who is also like a composite of several other assistant characters from the story.
How about to say, seems like a amalgamation of all the support characters.
Yeah, that seems to be the name in the profile is referred to, and I think in dialogue is referred to as Sancho, but they play the role and abilities of lots of supporting characters. The princess, the horse, other people. So he has fairly high HP and low attack, probably what you'd expect from Don Quixote, this little gremlin man. I also love how they made him short. I think even in his profile he says, can't we fudge that number a little? Yes, his height is 148 centimeters, and he says, can we fudge that number by some 20 centimeters? That would be ill-advised, my lord. Love it when you get a little dialogue in there. But he is also Quick Arts Buster, the deck you associate with Lancers, or used to anyway. That used to be the Lancer signature thing, but obviously we've broadened that out a little. So his hit counts for his 1 arts card are average 3 hits, but he has 5 hit quick cards. So his NP gain is already pretty high, so he will generate NP pretty well. It's 0.7 with 5-hit quick cards. That's going to be very spicy if you do like an AQQ. So keep that in mind, folks. Now, his Noble Phantasm is a single target quick. It deals bonus damage to giant enemies, plus 150% damage. Of course it does. And it also increases the party's attack by 20% flat for 3 turns, so it also is a charisma, basically. And also, based on overcharge, increases the party's critical damage for 3 turns, which starts at 20%, but does max out at 60% at 500% overcharge. So that can be a very spicy buff. And all it does is cost him a merely 1,000 HP. Yes, he does have a demerit on his NP, but it's only 1 key HP. I don't think it matters. I've already told you he's a chunky boy. I do believe there are 5-star Lancers who might have less HP than him. I have to double check. So, skills. First skill, very basic. 10 to 20% quick end buster up for 3 turns. It also grants him a 1k to 2k guts one time for 3 turns. So, even if you accidentally explode yourself, you'll come back. And he's got the quick and the buster. His second skill gives himself 10 to 20% attack for 3 turns. It gives him 5 to 10 NP and 5 to 10 stars per turn for 3 turns as well. So, once again, keeping that NP potential up, giving him more stars to work off. And, I think a decent job of massaging his damage potential, even though he is a 4-star with a little bit of a lower tact attack. So his final skill is a little bit weird, and I'm going to be honest, I feel like this is one that's probably going to get a rank up in the future. It already has those vibes of like, I don't know why you made this quite so focused. So you can only activate this skill when your NP gauge is 30 or higher. It reduces your NP gauge to 0 as a demerit, but it charges the entire party's NP, except self, 20 to 30%, so effectively almost doubling your return if you do it at 30. And it also gives you 10 to 20 stars. My main criticism of this skill is I don't know why it reduces your NP gauge all the way to 0. Like, why doesn't it just cost you 30? And I could see that as a potential future buff, but even so, it gives him an interesting, like, off-support role. He has that single target, boss-killing NP with the trait damage, with the party buffs. But also, if you don't need him to do party buffs, like maybe if you've killed the one giant boss you need to deal with, he can, spread the love around a little. His only passives are Magic Resistance and Riding E for tiny little baby buff.
Bebe.
Seriously, Riding E just gives him 2% quick effectiveness. But he does also have a unique passive called Traveling Attendant B, which does give him an extra 20% instant death resistance, which is very funny. Again, they're doing interesting things with passives in these guys. I kind of like it.
I mean, Sancho was the straight man and just told him, no, my lord, that's just a fucking windmill.
Yeah. So that prevents him from falling into instant death traps, I guess. My lord, that is a pit trap. Are you sure it's not a ball pit?
Quite.
And Don Quixote jumps in the ball pit of spikes anyway. Oh no, his
That is the story.
Yeah, basically. We've retold Don Quixote, but with ball pits. I mean, I don't know. If you were going to do like a high school stage play adaptation, you'd probably have to do some stupid shit like ball pits and tiny pinwheels rather than windmills.
Well, windmills are the famous one, but there's actually a lot of kind of fucked up stories in Don Quixote.
Yeah, it's a pretty famous one. I don't know if I've ever read it all the way through. I've read lots of summaries.
I haven't read it all the way, but yeah, no, I've read summaries. Don Quixote is old, guys. It's from the 1600s.
Yeah, it's one of those like big classical seminal works that define a lot of stuff. If you've ever heard the phrase quixotic, that's the root of Quixote. Like it's left its impact on language, but still pretty fun. So he assuredly has value in killing specific bosses, and also has semi-support energy as well. So he's got that great job where like, imagine you're fighting a giant in like wave 2, and then you're like, well shit, I don't need this guy anymore. I can spread the juice around. He can, feed his NP to other people, give you buffs. Seems rad. And last, but definitely not least, new permanent 3-star, woo!
Woo!
It's taken literally like 2 years. But finally, he's a caster, Zhang Jue, or Zhang Jiao, leader of the Yellow Turban Rebellion, which I believe is, well, historical fact, is also one of the many, many portions of the Romance of the Three Kingdoms. His stat spread is comparable to Paracelsus, so he's got decent attack, slightly lower HP. And he has decent NP gain and average hits. The main thing that's interesting about him for a caster is he is QQAAB. So he has 2 quick cards and 2 arts cards. So, they're still doing that thing where they're trying to, give us more variety in casters. They probably realized that they made casters a little too samey to start with. So, his NP is an interesting one. This is also, speaking of unusual combos for casters, his NP is an AoE quick. It is only 5 hits, so we're not talking about the loops. But it does buff his NP damage first, and it is AoE, and he is going to be a permanent 3-star, so you will probably have him at NP 5. So that will probably slap pretty hard. Now, the very interesting thing is, it also, before dealing damage, it also clocks enemies with debuffs based on terrain. Based on if you are currently on forest, water, sunlight, or burning battlefields, it will reduce it by reduce their quick effectiveness for 20%, their arts, buster, etc., and critical chance on burning. So correlating that. Buster on sun, arts on water, quick on forest, and then, like I said, burning is crit down. And it's flat 20%. So you can already probably guess there's going to be some interesting synergy potential here. There's some fun stuff in this one. So his first skill is pretty normal. It is a 10 to 20% for 3 turns to him for the party for arts and quick. I believe Odysseus has basically the same buff. So it's, 10 to 20% for everybody, 5-turn cooldown, 3 turns. Good for some good old party synergy. Second skill, called the Great Teacher, increases an ally's star absorption for 1 turn, increases their critical damage by 50 to 100% for 1 turn, and removes their debuffs. This is a great targeted support buff. And then his final skill is the one, though, you will probably get the most mileage out of in a general FGO sense. First of all, it is a 30 to 50% battery. Are you noticing a theme today? We're leaving the realm of 20% batteries behind. We're moving on to 50% batteries, my personal favorite. But also, it has an 80% chance each to give himself a terrain change battle buff for forest, waterside, sunlight, and burning for 3 turns. And yes, this is a chance-based buff, which means that you can't alter it with servants who do that, such as Oz and Lan Ling. So not only does this mean you have, hypothetically, obviously, it is still chance-based unless you go to your way to do that synergy, you can increase buff chance with CEs as well. While this does also mean that he has a way to guarantee all of his procs on his NP effects, this also means that he has... I'm seeing a lot of support potential, a lot of synergy potential for servants who require certain terrain types. We've always talked about how terrain effects are kind of underserved in FGO, right?
Right.
So this gives you alternate ways to get those buffs out there and do some really interesting things. The forest is especially interesting because... Ooh, and his Bonzi has buff chance up. That's very nice. Oh, yeah, increases whole party's buff success rate by 20%. And MP damage by 10%. That's a good Bond CE, actually. Especially for a 3-star. Damn, that's pretty spiced. Like, 20% buff received success rate is just solid. But yeah, I find the forest buff especially interesting because that's Jaguarman, Taiga's thing. Her final skill does a lot on forest debuffs and only a little bit on non-forest terrain. I don't think it's gonna make Jaguarman a busted-ass servant, but it's interesting to see this synergy. You can probably string him together with a lot of servants who have this issue and do some fun stuff. He has item creation and territory creation B each, so his arts cards are, decently effective, and he has a increased debuff success rate. So obviously, being a permanent 3-star, you're looking at a presumably eventual NP5, right? With a quick-based NP that has a self-steroid, and he already has steroids. Fairly effective. Probably going to be decent at free-to-play cleanup and stuff. And then, like I said, I am very interested to see what people can do with the fact that he has 4 different terrain types on a buff, and can really synergize. And I do actually think there is some synergy with servants who are already out, for instance. His effect for Sunlight is Buster resistance down. I think for Sunlight, the most prominent character is Gawain, who is a gorilla. Similarly, one of our most prominent Waterside users for arts is Lambda, who is very much arts, and also I believe Nero has some synergy with water, and she is also arts. So, doing some interesting things. Like I said, I really like this guy's design. Also, he's a cool old guy. Who doesn't like cool old guys? His first ascension is pretty classy.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, Nemo's another big one. Nemo really needs that water side buff. Oh yeah, and he does do team wide arts up. That has some synergy with Summer John. Yeah, like I said, it's just the little things. Like they're just like fuck it, give him a buff that's like it's a 50% battery. So even if you're the unluckiest motherfucker in the world, you still get something. But like we'll just put 4 terrain buffs on one skill. We don't give a shit. We don't care. It's fine. Everything's fine. And it really probably is fine. I don't think it'll break anything. I think the main thing to be concerned about with this guy is the fact that he needs 48 of the brand new bronze mat to max out his skills. But, you know, we all know that pain.
Mm-hmm.
Is your Appen skill funny? Oh, no, it's against casters. That kind of makes sense, you know. But yeah, all in all, I think these are good servants. I mean, I will say for this banner, I'm not going to go as ham as I would on number 1 for obvious reasons. But, you know, Young Moriarty and the Dawn seem pretty fun. But we do have to worry about an anniversary right around the corner this time of year, so I'm gonna wait and see. I have to go hard on that first banner. It's okay. I didn't get my regular old man Moriarty on the first raid up. Shit, when did I get it? Was that Spider's Web? I think that was Spider's Web. I'll have to double check the date. It was a delayed reaction. I'll probably try some tickets for Don Quixote though, because he's story locked. Heckin' story locked 4 stars killing me. But yeah, that's the new servants. You know, same as last time. Their designs don't seem too crazy. Like, we're not going to break anything with the meta or anything, but there's definitely some fun stuff going on here, and we appreciate it. And, you know, like I said, we got a new 3-star. That's great. And he's going to be permanent. No fucking around. Always good to see. Still hopeful that we will slam jam in some more, you know, maybe around anniversary time, but yeah. Okay. That is the core of the show. We did cross 2 hours raw time, though obviously there'll be some editing for all those times we felt static in our brain. I got a couple things to remind everybody. You've got 6 days left to vote in the Fan Servant Friday poll. Currently, it is a fierce war between Cheshire and Sir Dagonet, constantly going back and forth between these two. No votes for the other two. Isn't it sad? But, yeah, it's kind of to be expected. We're getting some big chaos energy vibes. I'm still not sure if I'll want to do an Extella Link summary this month. I would have to have time to go back and actually get into Link, which I haven't lately. I'll let you guys know. Otherwise, we'll keep a brewing for Teach Me Omega Sensei topics. We do also still have the Fail Betrayal poll going, and it is currently still tied. And I think more of you can vote. Or you could try and vote up the lower ones, you know, catch up. Give us more ties. We'll see. I mentioned it earlier, we did cross 3,100 subs, so we will be going to the do the special funny Dimension Dragons one this Tuesday, probably. Unless I'm dead or something. But, you know, supporting us at Patreon, you can get access to these topic polls if you want to vote. That's our 5 and up level, the silver tier. You can also get access to audio, like I said. You know, you don't want to deal with a 4-hour episode on YouTube. You can download the Delta Green APs if you're 1 and up. Any level our Patreon does it. And they're fun stuff early. But let's see. I think we already talked about most of the, like, speculative stuff, like what we can expect in NA the rest of this month. Probably Hunting Quests first. Maybe CCC first. Who really knows? Only Lasagna knows. But other than that, like, I don't think JP has... Do they have an exact date on what they're doing next? I don't think so, because I haven't seen it mentioned on, like, the wiki. Let me double check that. Yeah, I don't think they got any time. I'll go to the Japanese news page and feed it through Google Translate. See what horrors await me.
And I think I am going to have to start using High Dive. God damn it. Sorry, I was looking at something, and I went down a fucking tangent. It happens.
Well, I immediately got something funny out of going through the Google Translate. So sometimes it's spelled vaguely like Traum, but other times it's Toraom. So it's like limited time offer, Toraom Sherlock Holmes pickup summon. I'm just like, hee hee. But no, there's no new clarified news. So we know that JP has announced they will be doing, we're looking for Lost Belt 3, Road to 7 content, flashbacks, stream, probably some buffs, probably some banners. Remembrance quests, you're probably going to have to do that one where fucking Python, like, explodes and rains blood on you like every other turn. Hopefully you can get your duel with Mothman. Actually, there are a lot of interesting fights in Lost Belt 3. I will wonder what they will do for the, like, Remembrance quests. Because on the one hand, old man Lee showdown, very iconic. But also, you got to do one of those Zhang Jue fights because those were kind of clusterfucky as well.
Yeah.
So we'll see what they do. And also there is supposed to be a new event, like with a story and map and something, later in June that will require some level of lost belt clearance. I think it's 3. I don't remember exactly. We don't have hard and fast details, but keep your eyes on the prize. There's more coming. Obviously, there'll be more coming out in coming weeks in NA as well for our anniversary and stuff. I know that JP is already working up their anniversary engine well ahead of time this year. They got logos, they got previews, they got all the stuff. So, as I stretch out all my bones, that'll be a fun time to keep an eye out for. He doesn't have to stretch his bones, but I got bones and ligaments and tendons I need to stretch out. So yes, stay tuned to this channel for more. If anything really crazy urgent comes up, I will drop a news desk. So that's a good incentive to subscribe, so you can get news desks and other updates. But yeah, I think it's time for the old wind down. Oh. Especially because my legs are stiff and I need to go get up and walk around. Obviously, if you want more of us, keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, we usually do our stream show What's Up with Omega and Lucky live every Saturday. It'll be after this goes public to YouTube. We stream. If you're watching or listening to this as a patron, it'll be the next day. So that's a fun time. Lucky will play a video game and we will talk about stuff.
I'm not sure what I'm going to play. I'll think of something.
Yep, we always do think of something. But yeah, so, and like we said, there's plenty to talk about. Netflix has done a lot of announcements this week, so there's a lot of trailers for stuff coming out, a lot of video game news and other stuff, Summer Games Fest things happening. So, stuff and things to talk about. So, that'll be a great time and a good way to get more of us if you feel like it's a Saturday afternoon, morning, evening, technically a Sunday, I guess, for some people in some time zones. We have a very diverse listener base. And you're just only a couple hours of these losers wasn't enough. I need more hours of their rambling foolishness. They're talking nonsense about coins and edges and stuff. That's what What's Up is for. You can also go back and check out, last week's show if you missed any. We're, like I said, usually up there every week. You can also catch us streaming on Mondays. Currently, we are, as I mentioned earlier, we are streaming through Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. So be sure to check that out. We had our second episode last week. We'll be coming back with another episode of Case 2. And, if you really got a lot of time to kill, if you've got, a long car ride or a boring shift at work or something, go check out the start of that series, because that's, a fucking 6-hour stream. With, 5 hours and 3/4. You'll lose some time there. And, boy, we try. We can even talk about it tomorrow. I think part of the reason why we're so exhausted is because we're putting a lot of effort into this, actually, reading the character lines and voicing them, and also trying not to, look like complete idiots as we solve crimes.
I mean, there's enough people looking like complete idiots. We don't need to. We really don't.
No, we get to. It's good. We get to be the straight man in this. Weird shit just happens around us. But yeah, so check that out. That's our Monday stream series. We'll be keeping on that one for a little while longer, though we do like to rotate around. If you need a shitload of content, we just finished a Skyward Sword HD playthrough, helmed by Lucky, The Legend of Lerp. That is in a playlist now. You can check that all out. We also release actual plays with our home gaming group. Lucky's in it. IGM usually. We got some other people in it. Currently, we're doing a Delta Green run-through that will be taking more episodes, so you can check those out as well. I also stream with some other gooponious individuals on Tuesday. Our regular Yu-Gi-Oh! Stream series, Fail Portrayal. Tune into that this Tuesday. It'll be extra goopy and slightly 5-dimensional. There'll be a lot of orbs. A lot of Konami orbs. And catch us with whatever videos we do. Let's see. I gotta start. I don't need to do it right now, obviously, because we still got a month, but I need to start planning when I need to pull the trigger on research and scripting for a Castoria Wanted, because I'll probably want to have that ready for that July 4th weekend.
Probably, yes.
So I gotta start thinking about that one. Look forward to that one in a couple of weeks. I'm sure you guys will be excited. That'll be one of those cases where the lore's gonna be like, all right, guys, I can't talk about any of this. This is all future spoilers. Magic Artoria. Not Magical Girl Artoria, Magic Artoria. Anyway, let's talk about how Arts is broken now. You'll eat it up. You guys love it.
Just snapped in half.
I do think Wanted Scotty is still one of our best watched videos. Stonks go up. So hopefully Castoria can reach those sweet, sweet heights, especially with a nice, shiny new style thumbnail. I'll put some effort in. I'll figure out something for like the lore and history stuff. Wonder if I can find any historical basis for King Arthur being a wizard. You're a wizard, Arthur. But yeah, so we always have plenty of content coming out for you to check about. And lots of other stuff I'll tell you about in the outro, which we will probably do now, unless we have some other... Chad, is there any other, like, random aside stuff we missed or forgot?
It related? I don't think so.
I mean, I do know. I don't know if you... I think I retweeted this. I don't know if you saw, Lucky. I did see Wadarko talking about her art exhibit. They will offer international shipping through certain outlets for the limited time art book.
Thick! I think I have to get one.
Yeah, so if you're interested in that, you should check that out. Wadarko is active on Twitter.
Oh.
Lots of people are very active on Twitter right now. We've got...
we got Comic Cat. We got Comic Cat coming up. I've seen...
I think it's Comic Cat 100 as well.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, so I follow a lot of Japanese artists for a lot of reasons, but all of them are going apeshit, retweeting little squares.
Well, yeah, that's because that's their booth.
Well, like I said, it's not just their own booth, but like everybody.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
if you see a guy you like and he's got a Comcat booth or something come out, it's like, ooh, I like that guy. Retweet. It's a little explosive right now. I had to turn off retweets for a couple of people for a little bit. Not that I don't appreciate it. It's just like, holy shit, my Twitter is fucking exploded. But yeah, keep your eye out for that stuff. Hey, there's a reason why there was a basically Comic Cat themed summer episode. If people didn't catch that one. But okay, let's do the outro, as I do not believe. Let me double check. Nobody's typing. Okay, chat is silent. They are bamboozled. We can all go home. We showed them some shiny jangly keys, and they're done. So, outro goes a little something like this. If you're watching this video on YouTube, be sure to give it a like if you liked it. Juice that algorithm. Have fun. See more videos. If you want, you can also leave comments down below. Talk about other stuff. Get your bets in. Take your thoughts. Tell me if you got that reference I made about snakes. Comments down below. You can also join our Discord. That link is, as always, in the video description and on our channel page. Join our Discord. You can join people who yell about, Fire Emblem, make FGO puns, other stuff we do, post cat gifs. I don't know why we're posting cat gifs, but, we posted a cat. And if that's not a reason to join our Discord, I don't know what is. If you're new here and haven't already, please subscribe to the channel to get more of our content, this show, the other shows, all that other stuff I mentioned. And, of course, even if you are already subscribed, considering that bell for notifications, you always know when we post a new video or when we stream. It's very good. Lets you know things. You can also join our channel membership by clicking the join button or the join link below. Get access to membership badges and emotes and help support us. And, like I said at the front of the show and talked about earlier, you consider supporting us on Patreon. You get access to our audio levels and our Patreon-only section of our Discord for as little as $1 a month or roughly $10 a year. It's a great little investment. If you get $10 in your pocket, you can support us right now. Well, and some change. It's like $10 and like 80 cents, I think, with percentage discounts. Anyway, you can do your own math. At higher levels, you can vote in topic polls, such as the Fan Servant Friday and all that other stuff. You can get access to video releases early. At higher levels, you can listen to us record Let's Talk FGO live and lots of other fun stuff. Be part of the Peanut Gallery, an important part of the cycle. And, I think that's about it. So, good day, everybody. Stretch your bones if you got them. We'll see you next time.
Yay. See you next time, everyone.